All men dream, but not equally. Those who dream by night, in the dusty recesses of their minds, awake to find that it was vanity. But the dreamers of the day are dangerous men, for they may act their dream with open eyes to make it possible. Several weeks have passed since the epic Swiss Alps 100k race that took me deep into my pain cave. A race after which I was thinking of having a break from ultras going into 2023. But after a strong recovery and experiencing UTMB as a spectator, I defined my new goal for this new year. It's going to be UTMB. This objective stems from a seed I planted several years back, and I had lined up my races according to the old point system before UTMB migrated to the new World Series format. In the old system, I had to do 2 100k races within the 2 years preceding UTMB to be eligible. Today, I only need one 100k and at least one running stone. I had the former, but was lacking the latter. But I had not lined up any races to get a running stone, and with 2022 nearing the end of the European trail running season, I only had a couple of options left near me. The Wildstrubel in Switzerland and Nice in France. The issue is that I had already told my wife that I was done with ultras for 2023. So the first hurdle was to convince her to let me go on to yet another adventure. And this raises issues many of us face and that I touched upon in my previous films. How to balance family, work and ultra running. Ultra running is quite different to many other sports I did in my life. As opposed to more mainstream sports like tennis or soccer that I used to do, for an ultra, you can't just turn up the day of the race with just a couple of hours training once or twice a week. To finish an ultra requires much more training time, which is difficult for many of us who are in the same boat. Some might have the support of their spouses, which makes things a little easier. Some might have jobs that enable them to be more flexible than others to squeeze in the training. Others might be more tied up. It's not easy to share a one-size-fits-all solution, as each one of our situations are different. In any case, on my end, it took time to talk it through with my wife, sharing how important setting objectives is for myself, pushing myself. I guess many of us need ambitious objectives in our lives. I certainly always needed one. From a young age, I wanted to become a fighter pilot and worked hard from age 8 to 18 towards that goal. At around the same time, I discovered a passion for motor racing and pursued a career in parallel before I couldn't raise the funds anymore to finance it. But this didn't stop me from dreaming, and I materialized another dream of mine, which was to chase tornadoes in the US. Some of the dreams don't always materialize, but one learns a lot along the way, and we grow, hopefully becoming better people in the process. And I think ultra running is also a path to self-discovery and growing in one way or another. We are all doing it for different reasons, but we are most certainly all doing it for a purpose, a deep purpose that drives us. A study has shown that setting goals creates a spike in dopamine, which leads to a feeling of pleasure, satisfaction and motivation. It makes you happy in essence. And the study shows that even if you don't reach your goal, you will live a happier life. My wife showed consideration and understanding, even though she probably didn't fully share my view of the type of sport. But it was enough to let me give a shot at getting that final running stone. I missed the Wildstrubel race, but was in time for Nice. And so I gathered my stuff and headed off to what would hopefully be the genesis of a grander adventure, UTMB. Alright, so here we are in Geneva Airport for a little bit of a surprise race. I'm going to Nice to do one of the event races, ready to take off. Alright, so here we go, destination Nice. As I embark, I realize that I'm not the only one going to Nice to get a running stone. Nearly half the plane is packed with our community of runners making the best of this last opportunity close to their home to get at least one running stone. It's actually the first time I travel so far to do a race, maybe the first of many going forward. Each time I leave for longer trips, I can't stop but feel a sense of selfishness. as I leave the family behind to do these adventures. It's always a mixture of excitement, but also guilt. I think many of us are torn between our duty to be present with the family, but also striving to reach new objectives. A tough balance which is difficult to maintain all the time. But these ephemeral moments are a great opportunity to reflect. Without the noise of life's ups and downs, these brief spells of calm enable us to think more clearly. As the plane glides through the glistening cotton-white clouds, gratitude is the first emotion that comes to mind. The world is a great sandbox, and being able to play in it is priceless. There are so many places to discover. We don't have enough time in a life to do everything, but we can make the best of it, and trail running enables us to go places that we would probably not have been to had it not been for a race. And even though Nice is a more mainstream destination for Europeans, for me it's illustrative of the many possibilities that can materialize with this sport. UTMB is setting up races all over the world, and how cool would it be to combine holidays and an epic race in places as far as Australia, Argentina or the US. Dreams, these seemingly ethereal thoughts, are much more powerful than we think. I'm convinced that if we truly believe hard enough in a dream, the universe somehow conspires to make it happen. Passions become obsessions, and without knowing it, we plant the seeds to materialize these dreams by converting them to plans. These don't happen overnight, as if life tests us to see if these dreams are truly as important as we might think at a moment in time. But as we say, no pain, no gain. Patience and grit are key in the process.
So here we are in Nice. We've arrived, but the weather is pretty poor to say the least. We're pretty stoked to be here. It's gonna be good fun. It's gonna be a short distance, but yeah, it's just unfortunate the weather's not on our side, but we can't get it all, so we'll make the best of it.
I profit from some downtime to check out the trail village and see the first finishers of the 100 miler. They have had very challenging conditions. Welcome to Nice and Villefranche-sur-Mer. Beautiful settings. Unfortunate, as I said, that the weather is not really on our side, but nice to be part of this UTMB World Series, testing out one of their races. It's going to be good fun. It's about 17k and 800 meters D+, so the objective is really to get the running stone and discover a new course. So hopefully it's gonna be good fun, and yeah, I can't complain with a great view from the hotel room. Nice is located in the south of France and is the typical postcard destination for many foreigners visiting the country. This city is usually soaked in sunshine most of the year and boasts an incredibly animated coastline, which makes it such a special city right on the Mediterranean Sea. There's always something happening in Nice, so it is to no surprise that UTMB chose this very touristic location to host one of their event races. One of the few that takes place right on the beach. It's a definite change for me, who has been used to doing these races in the Swiss Alps, far from any beach. The morning of the race has arrived. This distance is packed with 875 runners. There is a good vibe, and I'm thrilled to be back in the game after thinking that the Swiss Alps was the last race of the year. After seeing UTMB in Chamonix, I'm totally stoked to be part of the UTMB party. This race is the second milestone in the journey towards UTMB 2023, obtaining the highly desired running stone.
So we're nearing the start of the race. It's about 20 minutes or something before the start of the race. First Nice 20k objective, just to get one running stone, so it's going to be more of a nice short run with 700 or 800 meters D+. Beautiful day today, at least, not like yesterday, which was rain-soaked. Today we have clearer skies and a beautiful sunrise.
The number of people taking part in this race is amazing. This sport is really picking up big time. Despite this race being a much shorter distance than I usually train for, I'm quite nervous as it's going to be very fast and I'm not used to this. It usually takes me around 8 kilometers to get into my groove. Today I'm going to have to be quick right off the bat, but there will be quite a bit of climbing, so I cannot burn myself too quickly. I had a bad habit this year of trying to keep up with the front runners and depleting my energy levels too early. But maybe this will serve me well today. The first part of the race took us through the quaint old city of Villefranche, a town I don't know, a very typical south of France atmosphere. We're only a couple of kilometers into the race, but the pace is definitely as fast as I anticipated, and I'm having real troubles filming the experience. On the ultras I go at a much slower pace that enables me to handle the GoPro with much less pressure. Today I'm going fast and my heart rate is already near zone 4. We're now on our way to the highest point of the course, which culminates at an incredible 370 meters. Yep, quite a big difference with what I'm used to in the Alps, where some of my races took me near 3,000 meters. But here we have the sea, which is awesome. As I climb this small mountain and admire the incredible view of the Mediterranean Sea, I can't stop but feel gratitude. Despite the discomfort of the effort, the pleasure of the sight is somehow compounded by the pain. There's something about pushing ourselves that enables us to see the world through a different lens and free our mind from the continuous noise of the fast-paced world, enabling us to appreciate the simple beauty. It's a sort of therapy. The dopamine is kicking in. I recall that each step is getting me closer to my objective of taking part in UTMB, and this injects additional energy into me. Goals are vital because they create movement, they force movement. We're now joining up with the last finishers of the 100-mile and 100k races, a sobering reminder of how grueling those distances are. Getting into UTMB will probably be easier than physically preparing to finish it. I've considerably picked up the pace now, but as always on the downhills, I try to tread carefully. I still have the painful experience of Zermatt in the back of my mind. views are truly awesome, so different to what I'm used to seeing. The backdrop of the sea is something special.
Merci. Gauche.
We're now arriving at the castle of Mount Alban. Built during the 16th century, it was an essential link in the defense system of the maritime window of the States of Savoy. Built between 1557 and 1560 under the leadership of the Duc de Savoie, Emmanuel Philibert, the fort du Mont Alban served as the border between the states of Savoy and Nice. 40 by 46 meters wide, this large rectangular monument has been occupied by military troops over the eras. Strategically placed between the Château de Nice and the Citadelle de Villefranche, it dominates the entire Côte d'Azur.
I think I've been going a bit too fast. Got a bit of a stomach pain now. Got to wind down a little bit. Ah, c'est par là. Merde.
We're now done with the climbs, and it's going to be mostly downhill towards Nice on the other side of this mount. Despite the stitch, I'm able to run again and looking forward to obtaining my running stone. We're now heading towards the sea. I'm really looking forward to yet another unique experience. These races are great opportunities to see something different whilst digging deep. And even though today is a shorter race than I'm used to, it is nevertheless another adventure. Another milestone is being reached. A goal that is moving me closer to a grander destination. As alluded to in my film on UTMB 2022, trail running is akin to life. It's a journey with a beginning, a middle, and an end. I believe that in order to live a fulfilled life, we need to add movement to it. We need to go places, discover, feel emotions, and share those emotions. We grow in the process. Regardless of whether we will meet all our objectives, life is tough. It's not an easy ride. Devising a vision that is strong enough to justify enduring some of the bitter realities that we have to face on a daily basis is key. We will often feel downbeat, demotivated, but by setting ourselves a direction, by moving, our spirits are lifted, which injects that needed energy to reconnect with motivation. I started out these films as a way of sharing my adventures, but as I continue in this side journey, I'm starting to realize that these films are not about me, they're about you, they're about us. I believe these adventures go beyond just the sporting dimension. It's a mental and spiritual journey, and trail running is a metaphor for whatever each one of us is chasing. And we sure are all chasing something, chasing a deeper purpose. By pushing ourselves, we gradually get closer to it. We might not even be able to precisely describe what it is that we're chasing, but it's there. We can all feel it. A sort of fire burning at the bottom of our soul. As we experience pain during these adventures, we can either come out on the other side bitter or better. I'm deep into this, and I'm still learning, far from being perfect. Rather than going through pain, we need to learn to grow through it, and this is directly applicable to our lives. As I approach the finish line, I now know that the running stone is bagged. which means that I'm now eligible to participate in the UTMB draw. But I want to give this race a deeper meaning, deeper purpose, running for a cause. I discovered that UTMB offers charity bibs, supporting several noble causes, enabling you in the process to obtain a bib without taking part in the draw. This was the perfect avenue for me.
We've arrived around 17 kilometers. That was a good race. Beautiful, beautiful setting.
My wife set up the fundraising for my 40th birthday. No gifts, just contributions to the cause, and I completed the rest with some savings. I subsequently secured my spot in UTMB 2023. The grand voyage is within grasp, but the hardest part is still to come. The preparation will be huge, and with a family and a full-time job, it's going to be an immense task. We are many in this situation. Stay tuned to follow me in my preparation for this epic UTMB 2023.
That was a beautiful race, really enjoyed it. It was a very fast race. I'm not used to such a fast pace throughout the race. I'm mostly used to pacing myself a little bit, but it was good. It was good fun.